Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, real estate fans, avid listeners alike, and everybody in your car on the way to church this beautiful Sunday morning. Thanks so very much for tuning into Real Estate Radio. My name is Erik Hatch. I get to be your host all morning long, or at least for the next half hour. Now, if you ever want to stop by and see us, we're located at Hatch Realty, which is at 1205 16th Avenue South in Fargo. So if you're over at Great Harvest Bread Company having a delicious sandwich, but not soup right now because soup isn't in season, and I'm a little perturbed about that because I love me some soup, but I still go and eat sandwiches there. I'm now on a sandwich tirade when really I want you to stop by because we're right across the street from Great Harvest at 1205 16th Avenue South. But here at the top of the hour, I get to share with you that we've done it again. The situation that I think people hear all the time is, realtors make me crazy, or they let me down, or I was disappointed because, and there's always a reason why everybody seems to have a bad real estate or realtor story. These clients were no exception. They had tried to sell their house last year for an entire year with no luck. We came to the rescue and within 30 days got their house sold. Turned it around for them, changed the stars, if you will. And this wasn't just a moderate house. This is a house over $400,000, and we had the opportunity to finally sell it for them, changing their opportunities, changing their future, and we're so thankful to have that. So people will say, why? Is it simply just because the market is ripe? Well, that sure helps. I would never be remiss to say that it's all just us, but rather the market sure helps. But realistically, pricing the house right, making sure it's getting staged, making sure the photographs and the marketing are astute, and then the servicing that happens with any lead that comes in on that, we always want to respond as quick as possible. So when we can line up all those stars for our clients, they have a much higher likelihood of success of selling their house. So if you're stuck right now, if you've been in a contract and are no longer and you're trying to sell your house, we'd love to talk with you to see if we can be of benefit for you. So let's get in contact, 701-369-4839, or head to livefargomoorhead.com to find out what your home is worth. But first things first, let's find out what's happening with real estate news this week. Holy cow, it is a weird morning because we have the wonderful, the debonair, and the guy who dated my wife in high school, Mr. Matt Langemo from All Terrain.
Pleasure to be seated next to Erik Hatch. I'd rather be next to him.
Yeah, I would too. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So you went to prom with my wife?
I did, happily.
Okay, and you have not let me forget it.
Nope, I try to remind you as often as possible.
Okay, but I won in the end though, right?
Well, winning, taking second, whatever. It's all the same.
Truth be told is my wife is fabulous, your wife is fabulous. I think we both won in that situation.
Yes.
Matt Langemo with All Terrain. Who are you? What do you do?
My name is Matt Langemo. I work for All Terrain Grounds Maintenance, and we provide residential and commercial lawn services.
That's it?
Well, there's a lot more that I do, but we'll keep it professional for right now.
Oh, thank you for that. Matt, truth be told, is All Terrain does more than just lawn services, because what I want us to get in depth with today is it's not just about mowing a lawn. There's so much more that goes into really beautifying a yard. What are the inside tricks, traits, and things that we should be doing and paying attention to?
Well, great question. So proper fertilization and weed control is a huge one, and that can happen throughout the summer. Now we're coming into late July and the August timeframe where it gets drier. Proper irrigation is what we need, so we can service and support irrigation systems. We do snow removal in the winter, which hopefully we don't have to think about for quite a while yet.
Yeah, 2 months away.
That's
right.
We're good. But it's time to trim your shrubs and make sure your weeds are pulled too. So we do all those.
Matt, I've been seeing more weeds lately, and I've been seeing mushrooms too. Time to do we like bulldoze our yard because of all these weeds and mushrooms, or like what do we do? What's the best way to maintain that?
Well, mushrooms are going to be hard to treat, especially when the humidity's been as high as it has been. You'll probably see some mushrooms pop up here in the next week or so. They'll probably leave just as fast as they pop up.
Okay.
As soon as that moisture drops back down, they should be gone.
So do we bother getting out on our hands and knees and pulling up these mushrooms that we see? Are they of any detriment to our yard?
They're very, very little detriment at all. My advice to my customers is find your favorite 9-iron or pitching wedge and take some practice cuts.
Oh, that's not bad. And it brings Smurfs, so that's always positive too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Weird.
Yeah.
So besides that, Matt, what about the weeds that are in our yards? I made the mistake. I didn't call you, but I had all these weeds growing out of my flower bed. And so I went and sprayed, and not that I have flowers, but I have plants. And so I took this super strong do-it-yourself stuff, and I sprayed each weed for about 20 or 30 seconds. and then move to the next one and move to the next one, and all the grass on the outside of my edging now is completely dead.
Sure.
Why am I so stupid?
Well, that's a great question. Emily and I talk offhand and I try to figure that out.
Yeah,
but no, it happens. The weed spraying is you got to be pretty specific with that. You don't want to get too much overspray. You don't want to spray when it's too windy out because you'll get some drift.
Yep.
So pull the large weeds and then just spot spray the small ones.
Okay, and it doesn't need to be like a 20-second spray, does it?
No, it's just one little spritz.
Okay, and I'll be darned because I thought I had to kill it and drown it, and like I found a bug in my house, and I want to make sure that it tells its friends before it dies. And
right.
Then,
it'd be like trying to slap a mosquito with a baseball bat. It's a little overkill when you spray that long.
I'm like Lenny from Of Mice and Men treating my yard. That's really great. In studio with us, Matt Langemo of All Terrain. Matt, people should be calling you right now because there's a huge need and a huge desire for people to get their yards pretty, and they're always nicest in May, right?
Correct.
And now it just starts to feel dry. It starts to feel a little bit overgrown. Name again what you guys can do to really pep up and prep up these yards.
Sure, great question. So at this point in the season, one of the biggest things is irrigation. So if you need help starting up your irrigation system still or servicing it, maybe you have some heads that are spraying in the wrong direction or some zones are watering too much, others not enough, come and we can help re-nozzle your whole system. We can make sure that the spread on your heads are going the right direction, the watering times are set properly. That'll be a huge one because hopefully you've already had a few treatments of fertilizer and weed control, but if you haven't, it's not too late to get on the list there too.
I love it. If people aren't lucky enough to have a sprinkler system or an irrigation system, how many times a week should they be watering if it's going to be as dry as we expect it to be in July and August?
Once or twice. Really, you shouldn't be watering many more than twice a week, and you want to really soak your lawn the times that you do water.
Explain soak, because that's a relative term in a sense. If I'm going to soak something, I'd imagine you almost drown it.
Almost, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
So how long would you keep a sprinkler head on in one area? When is that classified as soaked?
Sure. So if it's a large rotating sprinkler head, which we call a rotor in the biz, those zones should be watering for about 20 minutes at a time.
Okay.
And then the smaller heads, the pop-up that just do a constant spray, those will spray for less time. 10 to 12 minutes probably per zone.
So it really isn't a terrible... When I hear soaking, I think I got to turn on my sprinklers and let it go for like 4 hours.
Oh, yeah. Well, by the time your whole system goes through, it'll probably be a 4 to 6 hour run.
Sure, but I don't have to do 4 to 6 hours in one area.
Correct. No, that would be overkill.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
again,
baseball bat on the mosquito again.
Again, that's me. Yeah.
Right.
Again, Lenny of Mice and Men.
Right.
This is me again.
Too much.
I just want to tend the rabbits. That's all I want to do.
That's right. Hulk smash.
That's right.
Hatch smash.
Matt, I love working with All Terrain. I think you guys are professional. You're quick. You're moderately priced, and you make my life a lot easier. And so I continue to call you for all my needs and recommend you to my clients. And so if people out there want to rely on you and make their life a whole lot easier, how can they do so?
Well, they can first thank you for the referral, and we appreciate your business as well. They can also call us at 701-280-3125, which is the phone number, and allterrainfargo.com is the website.
Yeah, and the easiest thing, too, is, heck, if you don't even remember that, just get in contact with us, and we'd love to connect the dots for you. Matt, always love having you in studio with us. And in the meantime, everybody, go to livefargomoorhead.com to find out what your home is worth or to check out a couple of houses on today's market.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch. Welcome back to Real Estate Radio. As always, I'm your host, Erik Hatch, and it's time now for the Erik Hatch Team's Picks of the Week here on Real Estate Radio. Each week, I have some houses that you don't want to miss out on because if you sleep on it, you won't be able to sleep in it. I'm convinced these are going to fly off the market, totally disappear soon, and they're deals that you need to know about in the listening audience. Let's start in Barnesville. Some call it a bedroom community. Really, it's even more than that because they've done such a great job of creating a wonderful ambiance and energy around that little town of ours. So in Barnesville, we're at 1002 10th Avenue Southeast. And I have a house that, if this were in Fargo, would sell for maybe $30,000 or $40,000 more. But now that we found it in Barnesville for $199,900, I'm convinced that you are going to call this an incredible deal and a stunning home. It's a split-level place, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2 garage stalls, and over 2,100 square feet. With all that being said, this house, dollar per square foot, is less than $100 a square foot and in really great condition. You just can't find that in Fargo-Moorhead. Fargo-Moorhead, West Fargo is traditionally going to be anywhere from 120 all the way up to $200 a square foot. So if you're looking for a deal, if you're looking for a bargain, and if you don't mind being in the wonderful community of Barnesville, in fact, I think you should be in Barnesville, you got to check this one out. Again, 1002 10th Avenue Southeast in Barnesville. Now, those people out there who are looking for a deal, I oftentimes tell our clients that you can have the right house or you can have a deal, but you can't have both. I think I have the opportunity for you to have both, and here's why. At 321 21st Avenue North in North Fargo, we're going to look at a house at $170,000. And $170,000 for a house in North Fargo is practically unheard of. In fact, there's 1,586 square feet for this house. It's a 1.5 story. And truth be told, is the house needs a little bit of elbow grease. It needs a little bit of TLC. It's not in terrible rough shape, but rather cosmetically it needs a bit of a facelift. But for 4 bedrooms and 2 baths, you're going to have a hard time finding anything like this in North Fargo. So if you're the person that can give a little bit of elbow grease and a little bit of love to a house, I promise you're going to get a screaming deal for $170,000. Don't miss out on this house. Finally, if you're looking for something with some size and some serious size, let's head to Deer Creek, which is the southwest corner of Fargo. We're at 6547 56th Avenue South. For $399,900, this gorgeous 2-story home that backs to nothing, no rear neighbors whatsoever. Imagine that kind of privacy that can be yours. This 2-story home, giant, beautiful, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 3 garage stalls. I think it's a keeper. I think it's a winner. And you should check out this house and everything else at livefargomoorhead.com, or to have your own home featured on Real Estate Radio, give us a call at 369-4839. All right, friends, I always want to give you some helpful tips and some things that you want to hold on to when it comes to real estate. And I named it in the last segment, and that is this, is you can have a right house or you can have a deal, but oftentimes you can't have both. I want to expand on that just a little bit so I make sure that it's clear on my point that I'm trying to hit home. If you are looking for a house that is immaculate and perfect, it's the right size, it's the right location, it's the right condition, it's everything you're looking for, and you love it, there's a really good chance that somebody else is going to love it also. We find ourselves in the Fargo-Moorhead community in more of a seller's market than a buyer's market. That means that there are more buyers out there looking for houses than there are homes for sale. And so what that does is that tends to drive up the price a little bit. And so getting that deal, getting that sweet opportunity really becomes a thing that's more talked about than what actually happens. Now, let's flip the script on that and say, yes, you can find a deal. It's a house that maybe is discounted in price and it's been sitting around for a little while. What that traditionally means is that the house is either not in the ideal location for the general market, the condition is a little bit rough, or the size is a little bit rough. Certainly, I think the marketing from the real estate companies have a big piece to do with that, as well as the servicing. But I can tell you that if you're looking for a deal, you're going to oftentimes have to sacrifice on something. I've named in previous shows that you can usually have size, quality, and amenities, but you can't have all of those if you're looking for something with a little bit of a discounted price. So it's important that you understand and that you know right now you can have a right house or you can have a deal, but you usually can't have both. But let me go just a little bit deeper because I still think the deals are out there if you get the right house. Houses traditionally every 20 to 25 years double in value. Fargo-Moorhead has a slew of homes that are great, and as our economy continues to grow, in fact, I took around some clients who are getting transferred here from Microsoft, from the West Coast back to Fargo, North Dakota, and they're getting transferred here. And so as they do so, we're finding out and learning that they're drawn here because of the economy, and they're drawn here because of the jobs, and they're drawn here because it's a great place to raise a family. And so more and more people are going to flow in, meaning that the value of your house is going to continue to rise. So with low interest rates and high demand that's going to, I believe, continue, the deals are still there because your house is still going to appreciate really well. Let's find out exactly how much by getting in contact with us at 701-369-4839 or head to livefargomoorhead.com. All right, everyone, I'm being told we're almost out of time, and so While you are sleeping, know that your house is appreciating. While you're working, your house is appreciating. While you're listening to real estate radio, your house is appreciating. But we need to know how much. We need to know just how much cash is being made every day, every minute, every hour, every second on your house. And the only way we can do that is if we start talking. The easiest thing you need to do, the first step, is go to livefargomoorhead.com, and on that page, we're going to have a link for you to find out exactly what your home is worth. It's a simple, easy step, and it's not an exact it's more of a computer algorithm of us finding out what your place is worth. But if you really want to know the nitty gritty and the details, we need to get in conversation. We need to talk voice to voice. We need to see your house. We need to get intimate with it to figure out the ins and the outs and then educate you on today's market. You may be surprised at just how much your house is appreciated. For example, I had clients who purchased a house a year and a half ago, and they built new construction, spent $200,000 on their new build, a fair price in today's market. No joke, 18 months later, I was able to sell that house for $260,000, and the only thing they did was add grass and a deck. Everything else was just the market appreciating that much. And those kind of stories of $50,000 and $60,000 of appreciation in 18 months aren't the norm, but they're not out of the ordinary either. So understand that whether you've lived in your house for 20 years or 2 months, you maybe have an opportunity if you want to make it a business transaction and make some sweet cash. Give me the opportunity and give us the opportunity to interview to earn your business and to see if we can be the right fit for you. So one final time, if you haven't done so yet, go to livefargomoorhead.com or give us a call at 701-369-4839. And that's it. Thanks so very much for listening to Real Estate Radio this morning. I've been your host, Erik Hatch, on the Mighty 790 KFGO.